Welcome back to Decodiva. Today, we're diving into the rich, cozy world of vintage maximalist decor through the lens of none other than interior design legend, Bunny Williams. If you've ever looked at a layered, lived-in room and wondered how to strike the perfect balance between elegance and comfort, this episode is your new design guide. Bunny Williams is known for creating rooms that feel curated over time. She masterfully mixes textures, colors, eras, and objects in a way that feels natural and welcoming, not staged or overly styled. We'll explore how to channel her approach in your own living room using vintage finds and thoughtful layering. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to Decodiva for weekly vintage home inspiration. Hit that like button if you love layered interiors, and drop a comment below telling us your favorite vintage piece at home. Let's get into it. When we talk about a collected look, we're really talking about a home that tells a story, a space that reveals itself piece by piece, like a good novel. Bunny Williams is the queen of this aesthetic, filling her rooms with furniture, art, and accessories that feel discovered rather than bought all at once. Instead of heading to one big box store and furnishing a room in a weekend, Bunny encourages the idea of curating your space over time. This is where vintage decor truly shines. Each piece carries its own history, and together they create a layered, deeply personal environment. The key is intentionality. A collected room isn't cluttered, it's full, yes, but each item has a place and a reason. So as we go through each element today, think about what story you want your space to tell. Every well-layered room begins with structure. Bunny often starts with core, foundational pieces like a well-worn sofa, a timeless rug, or a sturdy coffee table. These aren't just filler, they set the tone and act as anchors for everything else. In a vintage maximalist room, think about pieces with patina, wood that's been aged beautifully, upholstery with texture, or classic silhouettes that ground the space. This is your canvas, so choose pieces that are versatile and neutral enough to layer on top of. A classic English roll-arm sofa or a Persian rug in muted tones is a perfect example. These items won't steal the spotlight but instead invite layers of personality to be added. Rugs are crucial in Bunny Williams' rooms. They define space, add comfort, and introduce a palette to build on. Bunny often uses vintage oriental rugs that bring subtle color, intricate pattern, and a time-worn elegance to a room. A rug with history can do so much: soften a hardwood floor, quiet a noisy room, and set a tone of cozy refinement. Don't be afraid of wear; those faded patches and frayed edges add authenticity and soul. Try layering smaller vintage rugs if one large one feels out of reach. A kilim over a sisal base can give you that same effect: depth, color, and softness, all with a collected, worldly vibe. Bunny's rooms rarely have matching sets. Instead, she combines different types of seating: club chairs, settees, occasional chairs, to create an inviting, conversational layout. Each piece has its own character. Look for chairs in different shapes, heights, and eras. Maybe a Victorian slipper chair next to a mid-century lounger, or a French boudoir paired with a slip-covered bench. That contrast makes a room feel alive. Upholstery is a great place to play with pattern and texture. Bunny might use a floral on one chair, a ticking stripe on another, and a solid linen on the sofa, but they all harmonize through shared tones or era. In Bunny's world, every table has a purpose. She's a fan of mixing elegant and rustic. Think a mahogany drop-leaf table next to a wicker tray stand or a marble-top bistro table with an iron base. tables aren't just for display, they're functional. They're there to hold drinks, books, candles, and lamps. Each one should feel like it was found in a different place, at a different time. Layer your tables with care, use trays to group items, stacks of books to add height, and bowls or boxes to contain clutter. Bunny says a room should look like someone lives there, not like it's waiting for a magazine shoot. Bunny's rooms glow. She rarely relies on overhead lighting alone. Instead, she layers in table lamps, floor lamps, sconces, and candles for atmosphere. It's soft, flattering, and always intentional. Vintage lighting adds personality. Think brass pharmacy lamps, ceramic mid-century table lamps, or crystal girandoles. Mix and match materials and shapes, and don't be afraid to rewire a thrifted lamp for modern use. Place lamps at varying heights around the room. A tall floor lamp next to a reading chair, a small table lamp on a stack of books. This variety creates interest and makes the space feel cozy and lived in. Bunny layers her walls just as thoughtfully as her furniture. Gallery walls, large statement pieces, and layered frames are all part of the plan. It's about building an aesthetic that feels accumulated, not curated in one go. Mix media, oil paintings, drawings, vintage prints, and photographs. The frames don't need to match, but they should relate in tone or style. Gold leaf, dark wood, and distressed white can all live together harmoniously. Lean art on shelves, layer pieces over one another on a mantel, or hang smaller works in unexpected spots like above a doorframe or beside a bookcase. Bunny believes art should surprise and delight. Books are a Bunny Williams signature. She believes that every room should have books, and not just a few. Think full shelves, stacked tables, and piles on the floor. They add color, texture, and personality. Look for vintage hardcover books with interesting spines. Group by color, subject, or mood. Don't overthink it, the charm lies in the mix. Top your stacks with small objects or frames, or tuck in a magnifying glass or ceramic figure. Books invite touch, curiosity, and a slower pace. They're the ultimate layer in a collected room. Pillows and throws are where Bunny's layering really shines. She uses these soft goods to add color, texture, and seasonal flair. Nothing should be too matchy, each piece adds a new note to the room's melody. Use vintage textiles like Sazani's, Kanta quilts, or Kilim pillows. Mix florals with stripes, paisleys with solids. It should feel spontaneous, like you grabbed your favorite things and tossed them together, and somehow, it works. Don't forget throws. Drape them over the back of a chair, fold them on the arm of a sofa, or stack them in a basket. They're functional and inviting, especially when they come with a story. Accessories in Bunny's rooms aren't filler, they're curated objects with meaning. Vintage clocks, antique boxes, brass candlesticks, ceramic dogs, all tell a story. Avoid mass-produced tchotchkes. Instead, hunt for objects with weight, history, and charm. Think estate sales, antique malls, or even grandma's attic. Cluster accessories in odd numbers, groups of 3 or 5. Vary height, material, and shape. And remember, it's better to have a few truly great things than a dozen forgettable ones. Bunny always includes something natural. Flowers, greenery, branches, they bring a room to life and soften more structured elements. Use vintage vessels for arrangements, an old silver teapot, a ceramic pitcher, or a glass apothecary jar. It's about elevating the ordinary. Change it up seasonally: tulips in spring, hydrangeas in summer, dried grasses in fall. Nature adds freshness, and Bunny makes sure it's always present. Mirrors are essential in vintage maximalism. They bounce light, open up space, and add a touch of elegance. Bunny often uses antique mirrors with fox glass and ornate frames. Hang a large mirror above a console or lean one casually on a mantel. The goal is to reflect the beauty of the room back into itself. Try using several smaller mirrors in a gallery-style arrangement, or place one opposite a window to amplify natural light. Bunny Williams looks up and down, not just side to side. She treats the ceiling and floor as opportunities for drama and beauty. Think vintage chandeliers, painted ceilings, or even wallpaper overhead. On the floor, layered rugs, painted finishes, or even a vintage runner can make a huge impact. Use these surfaces to tie the room together in unexpected ways. A ceiling can echo a rug's color. A runner can balance a wall of artwork. Think like Bunny, every inch counts. Nothing in Bunny Williams' world is perfect, and that's intentional. Scratches, chips, faded fabric, worn wood, all of it tells a story. The goal isn't pristine. It's authentic. If your vintage mirror has a crack, or your chair has a frayed arm, lean into it. That's character. These imperfections add soul. A room that feels too perfect can feel lifeless. A Bunny-style room is rich with personality, history, and warmth. Layering like Bunny Williams doesn't happen in a day. It's a process of collecting, curating, and living. Take your time sourcing pieces. Live with your space. Add, subtract, rearrange. The room will evolve, as it should. The joy is in the journey. Let your living room become a living diary of the things you love. Bunny wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you so much for joining me today on Decodiva. I hope you feel inspired to layer your living room the Bunny Williams way, rich in history, texture, and personality. Remember, vintage maximalism isn't about stuff, it's about stories. And a truly beautiful room is one that makes you feel something. So go forth and layer with heart. If you loved this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and comment below with your favorite bunny-inspired design tip. Thanks for watching, Decodivas, and happy decorating.